Ferrari's return to Imola was meant to be a statement, a symbolic reset, a fresh start, a chance to turn the tide in front of the loyal tifosi. Competing just down the road from its Maranello headquarters, came into the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix with a familiar blend of pressure and anticipation. But after 2 practice sessions on Friday, the atmosphere inside the Ferrari garage was anything but triumphant. Instead, frustration echoed over team radio, technical problems dominated conversations, and 2 of Formula One's most talented drivers were left grappling with an issue that seems almost rudimentary in modern F1, brake performance. Before we start the video, please take the time to like the video and subscribe if you like our work. We're still a growing channel and we would appreciate it a lot. Thank you, and let's dive in to the video. For Lewis Hamilton, the 2025 season has already been a journey of transition. After over a decade with Mercedes, the 7-time world champion's move to Ferrari was one of the most talked about shifts in recent F1 history. But the adaptation hasn't been seamless. Hamilton has openly voiced his struggles with the car, and in Imola, his primary concern zeroed in on the brakes, a problem that in his words has become a lottery. "I was really happy with the car in P1. Hamilton said after Friday practice. "It felt like we had made a step forward. I was feeling really positive." His optimism was short-lived. What followed was an unraveling performance, not because of drastic changes or major errors, but due to tiny adjustments that triggered disproportionately large consequences. "I've literally changed 2 of the tiniest things that shouldn't have had barely any effect at all, and we had some brake issues that then made a massive difference." The brake issues Hamilton refers to are not just teething problems with a new team. They're persistent, inexplicable inconsistencies that have defined much of Ferrari's season so far. Unlike Mercedes, which used carbon-on-dustre braking systems, Ferrari runs Brembo units. And while that might seem like a simple swap, the difference in performance and feel can be significant. Still, Hamilton insists that's not the issue. It's not the transition, it's the performance, he explained. "We roll the dice. You put one set on and it works, another on and it doesn't." That lack of predictability has left Hamilton, a driver known for his precision and consistency, increasingly frustrated. He compared the situation to gambling, a dangerous game where milliseconds define success or failure. "It's a lottery. We will roll the dice. You put one on and it works. You put another on and it doesn't. We'll see. I hope tomorrow we figure something out." Meanwhile, his teammate Charles Leclerc didn't mince words either. Over team radio, he described the brakes during the warm-up mode as horrendous, even going as far as to say it is not braking. For a team like Ferrari, dealing with such fundamental issues at their home Grand Prix is more than a technical setback. It's a blow to morale and a reminder that the road back to title contention is far from smooth. The track itself hasn't helped. The Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari is tight, technical and unforgiving. Both Ferrari drivers went off track during FP1, not uncommon in practice, but emblematic of a car that still feels on the edge rather than under control. As Friday wore on, the sense of momentum Ferrari hoped to build seemed to fade into the background. The Imola race weekend is traditionally a time when teams bring significant upgrades, leveraging the start of the European calendar to debut new aero packages and mechanical tweaks. Ferrari was no exception. They arrived with a revised rear corner layout, modifications to the beam wing, and subtle changes to the rear wing geometry. On paper, the SF-25 was set to handle better, rotate faster, and deliver more consistent performance. In practice, those changes haven't yet delivered the expected leap. Part of the reason could be strategic. A new technical directive is set to come into play at the Spanish Grand Prix, altering key areas of car design. With that in mind, Ferrari may have chosen to hold back their most aggressive upgrades, preferring to wait until the regulatory dust settles. It's a sensible approach in the long run, but one that does little to alleviate short-term pressures, especially at a track like Imola where expectations are sky high. In terms of raw pace, Ferrari wasn't far off early on. In FP1, Hamilton was just 0.096 seconds behind Oscar Piastri, who topped the session. The timing sheets suggest the SF-25 was competitive even quicker than the McLaren through certain sectors. However, those numbers come with caveats. McLaren appeared to be running a conservative power unit mode, and the evolving track conditions meant comparisons were less than definitive. By FP2, the picture became clearer. Leclerc finished P6, the faster of the 2 Ferraris. but nearly half a second down on the leading McLaren. Hamilton, hampered by braking issues and a lack of confidence in the car, was even further behind. What had started as a promising weekend had quickly turned into damage limitation. Leclerc admitted the team's focus must now shift to qualifying. "Our weak point at the moment is the qualifying pace," he said. "To go and take pole? Honestly, I don't think we've got it in the car for now, but the race pace was strong, so that's positive." His comments highlight Ferrari's core dilemma: solid long-run pace undermined by an inability to get the most out of the car over a single lap, a problem compounded by Imola's lack of overtaking opportunities. In modern Formula One, where grid position can define a race outcome, especially at narrow tracks like Imola, strong qualifying performance is non-negotiable. Ferrari knows this, the drivers know it, and so far, they haven't found the answer. All of this leaves Ferrari in a familiar position, on the back foot, chasing solutions while the competition pulls ahead. McLaren, currently the class of the field with the MCL-39, looks increasingly confident. Mercedes, though still inconsistent, is showing signs of recovery, and Red Bull remains a looming threat, even on weekends when they're not dominating headlines. For Ferrari, the Imola weekend was supposed to be a celebration, a homecoming filled with optimism and renewed belief. Instead, it's become a microcosm of their broader struggles, flashes of brilliance marred by technical gremlins, high hopes derailed by the basics. Yet, in true Ferrari fashion, hope isn't entirely lost. The European season is still young, the major regulation change is just around the corner, and with drivers like Leclerc and Hamilton in the cockpit, the potential remains enormous. But potential alone doesn't win races, execution does. And for Ferrari to capitalize on the talent they have both behind the wheel and at the factory, they must solve problems like braking consistency, problems that have no place in a team with championship aspiration. As the sun sets over Imola and attention turns to Saturday's qualifying session, the pressure only intensifies. Ferrari's engineers will work late into the night, sifting through data, searching for answers. The tifosi will return to the stands as passionate and expectant as ever, and Hamilton and Leclerc will return to their cars, hoping that when they hit the brakes, this time everything just works. Because in Formula One there are no second chances, and for Ferrari in 2025 time is running out to make the leap from potential to performance.